Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast. This is the show where we help investors just like you, yes, you, to find, figure, fund, fix, and flip a foreclosure deal with our foreclosure profit system. You can actually get involved in real estate investing without getting a real estate license, having to leverage all your capital, locating construction crews, and all those limiting factors that go into doing your first deal with the foreclosure profit system. In this show, we're going to go into detail about three of my favorite sources to find great deals in foreclosures. People are always coming to me and saying, Donnie, there just can't be that many deals in the marketplace right now, right? Listen, there absolutely positively are. You just have to know where to look. And on this show, we're going to talk about where to look for those deals. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast. I am your host, Donnie Corum, and on this show, we discuss how to find, figure, fund, fix, and flip a foreclosure deal. You can get started by heading out to the foreclosureprofitsystem.com. But one of the things I'm asked all of the time is, where do you locate these incredible deals? And a lot of people ask with this trepidation, Donnie's never going to tell me about his secret sources. Listen, guys, nothing about this system is based on the law of scarcity. The reality is there are a ton of deals in the marketplace all the time. There are more than enough deals to go around. I could literally find a deal every single day of the week for my clients if we wanted to. The reality is we pace based on client demand, but there is never a shortage of deals. The thing about finding deals is, in order to find a deal, you must invest two things that people often don't want to invest or can't invest. The first one is time. You got to spend a decent amount of time locating deals. I have often joked that if I was allowed to put lights and sirens on my vehicles when we were out looking at deals, I would. When a hot, motivated seller calls one of our hotlines, and one of the hotlines we have is 719-719-SELL. Okay. If you go to 719sell.com, you can see what the website looks like on that. I'm just going to show you really quickly, what kind of marketing we're doing for sellers. Not here, but we're going to hop over to, here we go, our website here. And on the 719sell website, sorry, that's our form. We often have people come to this website because they see the marketing that's out there and they really want to get their property sold. So they'll either call the hotline 719-719-SELL, or they will fill out this form. But in either case, when they express interest and they show that they're a motivated seller, I apologize, you guys didn't see any of that, did you? Let's go back here and add this one to the stage. All right, present, share. Here we go. All right. That's a little better. Sorry about that. All right. So this is our website, 719-719sell.com, right? Diamond Home Buyers is the branding. We wanted to make it a little more friendly than Traction Capital, which is the parent company. But people come to this website all the time, or they call the number and they want a cash offer on their property. The issue is they don't want it tomorrow. They don't want it an hour from now. They want it right now. And there are typically competitors looking in the market at this property as well. They don't call one hotline. They see the bandit signs. They Google sell my home fast. They generally find a couple of people who are interested in making a cash offer, because investors are in every market and they're always looking for deals, right? So you have to be able to act very quickly. So time is critical. If you've got a day job, which most of my clients do, and the seller calls the hotline, they need you to act quickly, you may not be able to get out there. I've got a whole team of acquisition agents whose whole job is to find deals for people in the system. So we don't have any time delay. When they're looking to get that offer, they want it right away. The other thing you have to invest is money. That's right. You got to spend money on investing. Obviously, the website costs a little bit of money, but beyond that, we've got Google ads that we run, Facebook ads. We're running streaming ads on Paramount TV. Netflix has streaming ads now. So we're putting the volume out there on multiple different sources of places to push traffic to our website. Right now, my acquisition cost for a deal is wandering between $3,500 and $4,000 what I'm spending per acquisition. Okay, so it's not free. So most people, especially starting out, don't have the marketing channels set up, so they don't have the ability to do that. The foreclosure profit system solves all of that. But on this show, I did promise to give you one of my top 3 sources for places that I find deals. And why am I going to give you the secret sauce on this? Because I know that once you figure out how much work and money is involved in actually acquiring deals, you're going to want to bring me and my team in to do this for you if you're a smart investor, right? It's kind of like you could form your own you could form your own burger franchise, right? And start pitching burgers out of a burger stand. But if you really want to scale your foreclosure investing business and turn this into an actual profitable system, as opposed to doing it on your own, you're going to want to buy and invest in the foreclosure profit system, and then we'll do it for you. It's going to make your life so much easier, more fun, and a heck of a lot more profitable. But I promise I'll give you the sources. So let's hop in and do it. Okay. So source number 1 is the HUD Home Store. Now let's start out. What is a HUD property? I'm going to share my screen here so you can see, but the HUD foreclosures live on the HUD Home Store website. Now, this is a government-owned site. HUD foreclosures are government foreclosures. So if you have an FHA loan and you don't make your payments, a lot of people think the FHA is a lender. That's not the case. The FHA is actually an insurance company backed by the federal government. So when the loan fails, the FHA, Federal Housing Association, insures the loan against loss for the bank. So they insure most, if not all, of the loan, depending on the loan type. And then they basically pay the lender back for the losses taken on the loan. I normally look at Colorado because that's my home state, but I happen to be in Scottsdale, Arizona, working on one of our deals down here right now. So let's have some fun and change it up and look at the Scottsdale or Arizona listings for a change here. So we're looking at right now what's available on the HUD repo site. And one of the first ones that comes to mind is right at the top of the list here, incredible deal on 18,001 North Timber Ridge Drive. Now, how do I know it's an incredible deal? Well, first, let's start with tendency, okay? We tend to see that HUD prices properties roughly 10 to 15% below what they believe the value is, and then they will take a discount somewhere between 6 and 8% off the asking price if there is no competition. We're in a high inventory market right now in both Arizona and Colorado because rates are high and things are a little bit slower. So it stands to reason that at 742, I should be able to get this for a little bit cheaper still than even the asking price. How do we determine it's a deal? Well, that's a show for another time. We're talking about sources today. But when you do the analysis on this property, as I've done tens of thousands of analyses for myself and for my clients, you're going to find that this property, the house next door, as a for instance, just recently sold for $985,000. I find those comps by using tools like PropStream, PropWire, and etc. But you can pop in the address into the data tools that are out there, and you can determine what the actual retail value, and actually we're looking for after repaired value of the property. So if we put some work into this, what could we theoretically sell this for in today's market? Yes, rates are high. Yes, inventory is higher than usual. Yes, it's going to take longer to sell than it did in 21 and 22, where we were yelling house for sale and somebody would scoop it up. All those things are true, but the market has not gone away. There's still a marketplace for nice homes that are priced accurately. The neighbor was an updated property and it went for $985,000. They're currently listed at $742. We'd have to do a full analysis on this to determine what we're going to put into the property. But my initial estimates put 75 to 80,000 maybe would go into this home to get it to where I'd want it to be. And maybe 90 at worst. But if we bought it for 742 even and put 80,000 into it, we'd be into it for 825 and selling for 985. Needless to say, a pretty stellar deal. So why haven't I scooped this up? Financing. The reality is I can only do so many deals at a time myself. So the other deals, the ones that I find that I can't fund at that given moment, go to my clients. So I find these great deals on HUD Home Store and the other sources we're going to discuss today, and then I provide them to my clientele. HUD Home Store is one of my favorite places to find foreclosure deals. It's at the original source when I got started. This is where I found the majority of my deals was right here on the site, and you can do it too. The catch is you need a HUD registered agent. agent. You need to be able to run your comps and evaluation very quickly. And you have to understand that you're able to go see the property, but the utilities are generally off. So you're getting into these properties with a lot of sight unseen stuff. You can turn them on, but it's a process. They've done their own home inspection, HUD has, but generally I don't really trust what they do there. So you're taking on a little bit more risk is the bottom line in exchange for getting a better deal on the property. But in most cases, when I've done these HUD repos, it is penciled out in my favor. But remember, real estate investing offers some degree of risk. They're not handing out paychecks to people to do flips. The reason why it works is because you take some risk to yield some reward on it. And HUD Home Store is a great place to find some great deals. We're going to call that deal source number one. Let's move on. Our next deal source is going to be Privy. And I love Privy. It's another data tool. This one you got to pay for. All right. So it's not a free tool, but let's cruise on over to the Privy marketplace right now. And we can put in, again, I usually look at El Paso County. You can see here it default to that because that's where it expects me to look. But we're going to change it up a little bit. Let's look for some deals in Maricopa County, Arizona, because that's where I'm located right now. So we're going to hop in there and we're looking for deals in general, which Privy is really good at. It can filter down just by using filters. We can just go in and find, I want a fix and flip deal. I want it priced, reasonably. So we're going to say $400,000 or less. And I need it to be at a certain percentage of the value. At default to 75%. That will do for our purposes today. All right. So, and then we're going to run that search and see what comes back. Obviously, we can go a little further. We can look at days on market. Does it have a basement or not? Is it an HOA? How long has it been listed? There's a couple of things in there, but we're really focusing on foreclosures today. So we're also going to look at pre-foreclosures and foreclosures specifically. Let's see what comes back. I can tell you in recent years, we haven't seen a ton of stuff because what's happening is it's not that there are no foreclosures in process. It's that there's not a lot of foreclosures on the market just yet. So let's run the search without the foreclosure filter and see what comes back. This one on Jensen Street, it looks like it's in Mesa, Arizona. Remember that Maricopa County is a massive county, one of the largest counties in the United States of America. It's got over 4.6 million people in it. So it's a very busy area. But out of the gate, we see some stuff priced in the threes. Again, I want it to be in the 2s to 3s. Here's one in Phoenix on West Portland Street. It's a 3-1, right? If they're asking $250 for it, is it a good deal? Well, we don't know just yet, but let's take a look at the pictures and see if Privy found us a deal right out of the gate here. The inside is very dated, ugly tile floors. We're doing a lot more LVP nowadays. The cabinets look to be original. We've swapped those out, new countertops, etc. It's about, 960 square feet. So if we use our price per square foot multiplier of $30 a square foot, sort of as a worst case scenario, then we're looking at a $30,000 remodel. Pretty early to tell just based on the pictures, but if we use that theory, we'd be into this for $280. We now want to know what it might sell for, okay, to make sure it's a good deal. So Privy does the heavy lifting for us on that as well. You check this out here. You got one property. It identifies as an investment. And the way it did that is it looked at the time frame on when it was purchased versus when it came back to market. If it's beneath like 6 months, I believe Privy defaults to, then it figures that it's probably investor doing the deal. And that's good because we want to see what the investor activity is. And there are other filters that are specific to investor activity as well. But this one is it's sold in the same neighborhood for $360. Kind of looks like the sell is almost like a modular. I don't know if that's the case, but it looks that way. It's got 2 baths to our 1 bath, so that's a problem. But ultimately, they got $360 in this same neighborhood. Further research will have to dictate that's a solid comp, but that gives us an idea, right? What we really want to see is other stuff as well. So we look at this one in Portland, went for $288. This is not really supporting what I need this to be worth, right? Remember, we're going to be into this for $280, and we need at least a $50,000 gross spread for this to work. So the minimum retail I need to believe we're going to hit on this for the numbers to work as it sits would be $330, and that's the bare minimum, right? We have a comp at $325, not necessarily a flip, but I want to take a look at that to compare, but definitely an updated remodel. So maybe this is a flip, right? But this is a 3.2 and we're a 3.1. So right now, although this price house at $250 is priced really well, it's not making the list, in my opinion, to be a deal. So we would either have to negotiate it a little bit cheaper, maybe down to $230, 235, and we were in a hot market, that wasn't even a discussion, right? If it wasn't priced well, it just wasn't going to be a deal, and that's all it was. But today, a lot more motivation from sellers because inventory is going up. So we might be able to get this for 225 or 230. It would just be a matter of submitting an offer. As it's listed today, it's not a good deal, but we could turn it into a deal with proper negotiating tactics. Remember, that takes time. You got to submit offers, go back and forth, do your inspection. These are processes that you can do on your own, but the foreclosure profit system does all of that for you. And that's one of the benefits of investing in the program, because we handle the heavy lifting of locating deals for our clients. But we're going to call that deal opportunity number 2. Right here on Privy, we can locate deals every day, all day, that we can submit offers to. So we've got the HUD Home Store and we got the Privy app. If you sign up for Privy, please use my affiliate code FDCPrivy.com. It will get you into Privy, and I get a little credit from them for finding you as a user. You can find deals and analyze deals right there in your local market using the Privy app. It's a great tool. I use it literally every day to find deals for my clients, and you certainly can find deals for yourself on that app as well. All right, deal source number 2 in the books. I promised you 3. Let's go ahead and head into PropStream, our third and final deal source that I use very often. We have literally 30 to 40 deal sources. I could spend a solid hour show going through all of the deal sources, but these are kind of my top ones that I use very consistently. The point is there's never a shortage of deals. It's where you go to look for them and what tools you want to employ in your arsenal to find those deals. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to look in Maricopa County again, because we're out here in Arizona, which is going to be the second market that we are launching with the foreclosure profit system. The first one, if you're new to the show, is El Paso County, Colorado. Okay, because that's where I'm from. But we're doing a lot of work out here in the market. I'll be frank with you. The primary motivation for this move is the weather. I've just kind of had it with the weather in Colorado. Like I'm not a snow guy. I talk about it all the time. So, the great thing about real estate investing is you can build it so it works for you and you can set your life up the way you want it to be. Okay. So we're going to filter by bank owned. That's a foreclosure. There's 1,477 of them here. Give that some thought. 1,477. Now, this is talking about both on market and off market. So it's tracking all the foreclosure data. So we want to filter a little bit more and just find stuff that's actively listed right now. So we want stuff that's on market, yes, and active, right? And so that's going to cut the amount of properties down to 176, but still quite a few foreclosure deals to look at. And obviously, when they're all actively listed, you can find the sales price. When they're not actively listed, as we see quite often, you have to, scout down the owners. You've got to get to the bank. If it's bank owned, you have to negotiate, et cetera. So there's a process involved in that. Generally, the process is worth it, but it's time consuming, right? And so if you've got a day job, the other things that you want to do, either other investment activity that you're working on, it gets very difficult for you to scour those deals yourself. So that's where the foreclosure profit system comes in, takes that heavy lifting off of you. We've just found 176 properties that we could throw offers in on behalf of our clients, or you as an individual investor looking to find your first deal could use the PropStream app. There's also a fee for PropStream. And again, if you want to check out PropStream, use my code for that, bit.ly/PropStream. That'll get you into my affiliate link for the PropStream app and allow you to start looking for deals right there on PropStream. But listen, guys, really what I want you to take away from today is there's no shortage of deals out there. There's shortages in the time and money to find those deals. And the more competitive the market gets, because there are more foreclosures on the market, the harder the process, believe it or not, is going to be to locate those deals. So you've got two options. You can make it your full-time endeavor to find deals, but typically as a private investor, you're going to be locating one deal at a time for yourself. Right? So if you set up these huge marketing systems, spend $5 or $6 grand a month on marketing, and you generate a whole bunch of deals, you got to have a pipeline of buyers to shift those deals off to, or that marketing dollar is going to be wasted. Right? Not the case with the foreclosure profit system. When you sign up for the system, we filter our marketing to provide the exact amount of deals that you want to do per year. So if you say, hey, Donnie, we want to do 4 deals per year, which is most of my clients, 1 per quarter, we get the system set up. So you're getting 4 deals per year. And as you're coming out of 1 deal, the marketing has already found your next deal. So there's very little gap in the time that you're spending in deals, which is going to maximize your profitability because your money is always being put to work in the next deal, as opposed to a system that works on its own where you're trying to find your next deal. And I talked to investors who did a deal a year ago, right? They're like, well, I really want to find another one, but I'm out there looking, it's super competitive. Other investors are looking at these great deals and et cetera. Or you can get rid of all of that noise in your life and just sign up for the foreclosure profit system. I'll find the deal for you, but then I'll analyze it with you so we can determine if it's a great deal. We're going to do a lot more in-depth analysis than we did on this show today. We're going to do a construction estimate, a labor estimate, a materials estimate. We're going to get a home inspection on the property. We're going to verify that every moving part on this house, we're aware of it, so we don't have any issues moving forward with that. Then we're going to build a construction scope of work, and we're going to get a rehab budget. You're going to know exactly what we're going to spend on the property, so all of your numbers are decided. That's all happens in the analysis phase. Then I'm going to help you with the funding. We're going to go to my hard money lenders, and we're going to work with them to get the best rates on capital that you can get. You don't have to bring all your money to the table. Generally, we can get a deal done at about 15% down. We're targeting 300,000 or less for most of our properties. So in a typical investment, you're going to be looking at 15% of that, or 45,000 down, plus some loan fees, right? So you need to have about 50,000 in liquidity available to do a deal, maybe a little bit more. And obviously, if you've got a lot more liquidity, it's much easier to get into deals. We want to help this make this accessible for most investors. So 50,000 is what you generally need to get started. From there, we're going to get it fixed. I'm going to connect you with my construction resources. We're going to get the teams working on the property within a few hours of you closing. We try to get the construction started, dumpsters on site, demo is going. The goal is to get the property back to market within 4 to 6 weeks. So you are getting a quick result on this thing. Hopefully we get it sold within 30 days. We're pricing them to sell with my team agent, and that team agent is going to discount your listing commission to only $2,500. That's about 10 grand in savings. So we are a full turnkey system where investors just like you can find deals, or you can use any of the sources that we found today. You can go out, find deals on your own, get started in this process. But whatever you're going to do to get going in real estate investing, now is the time. The market is conducive to it now, and there are deals everywhere. You just got to get started and looking for those deals, or reach out to me and I'll get you put into a deal within 30 days or less of you signing up. With that, that is our show for today. I thank you guys so much for tuning in each and every single week to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast. I really hope you'll join us on this journey and start in real estate investing. The market is shifting. We are seeing a lot more opportunities in the market today. Yes, it's taking a little bit longer to sell them on the retail side, right? It's slower on both sides for sure, but the opportunities are out there. We just budget for more holding time to own the property, but we can get you into multiple deals so you can get consistent streams of income from doing fix and flips with the foreclosure profit system. With that, this is Donnie Corum, your foreclosure deals coach, thanking you so much for tuning into the show today and reminding you now and always, don't buy a house, buy a